I guess it's starting, y'all. All the shelves are empty, and this is where all the vegetables and the fruit and everything is. I see. You got to be.
China is no longer working with USA shelves will be very empty in the next few weeks.
You can't make this up.
We are also reporting today that a group of CEOs of the top American retailers, Walmart, Target, Home Depot, and Lowe's, had a private meeting with Trump on Monday. They had plenty to say, but there was one warning that stuck out. Empty shelves, they said. Empty shelves in American stores as soon as this summer.
Tariffs, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce today practically begging the White House for tariff relief for small businesses, telling the administration even if it only takes weeks or months to reach agreements, many small businesses will suffer irreparable harm.
These tariffs are just adding uncertainty and complexity at a time when these small businesses just don't have the cash flow to cover it.
The Chamber's CEO says she's speaking up for Main Street companies that don't have the lobbyists and lawyers like big public names. Businesses like Bonnie Bray Flowers in Denver.
Got our roses from Ecuador.
Facing Mother's Day and graduation with new costs they never anticipated.
Everything that is imported from another country. Adding anywhere from 10 to 20% on every one of our invoices.
Big companies, too, with big tariff price tags. GM warning investors of current tariff exposure of $4 to $5 billion. Hershey says tariffs will cost it up to $20 million this quarter. Stanley Black & Decker says it's already raised prices because of tariffs and will raise them again next month. Consumers, meanwhile, growing more cautious. Sales at McDonald's in the U.S. fell 3.6%, the biggest drop since the pandemic. Airlines also seeing passengers pull back. Southwest CEO Bob Jordan.
The demand is way down. Now, a lot of that is, I think, the consumer reaction to the tariffs.
The administration's message tonight, stay calm.
We didn't get here overnight. We're not going to fix this overnight.
Also today, Kimberly-Clark, the company that makes tissues and toilet paper and other consumer goods, it announced a plan to invest more than $2 billion to expand its manufacturing in Ohio. That should result in about 900 jobs.
All right, Christine Roman.
What they're not saying is how long it's going to take for the tissue company to get their manufacturing up, and how long is it going to take for Mercedes to get their manufacturing up. What's up, y'all? Welcome into Tommy Bites Homestead. How are y'all doing today? I decided to start with a couple of videos before I jump into the news story. I hope those of you who have been watching the videos and commenting, I appreciate all of the comments. I like as many as I can. I've been reading through them, the ones I can see before my eyes start hurting or anything like that. So I do appreciate you leaving those suggestions, opinions, whatever it is you've been leaving, tips for people on stocking up. Keep it coming, because I'm pretty sure you're helping someone. Each one teach one is how it should go. I have dock workers who are now concerned because they are seeing the visual that, in real time, because they're there every day. And although some things are coming in, I think there's one last vessel to come in that is before the tariffs hit, so that should be good. But after that, there's nothing moving out of China now. Mind you, there are other ports in other countries that are still moving things, but we get our bulk from China, so that is going to affect a lot of people. I want to share this this news article with y'all here. Due to the tariffs, and the LA port workers are being hit hard with reality. So amid a wave of unprecedented tariffs, anxiety is running high for truck drivers like Helen. And Helen didn't use her last name, and I'm pretty sure Helen is not her real name, because otherwise they'll know who Helen is. She makes her living delivering cargo containers from Los Angeles to Long Beach harbors to warehouses and other customers around Southern California. After a strong start to the year, the number of jobs has started to slip in recent days, and truck drivers have heard reports predicting a sharp decline in incoming cargo for May and June. So they're saying now that we, the consumers, depending on where you are in the United States, can start seeing empty shelves mid-May, well into June, into the summer. And hopefully Trump and Beijing can start that conversation so that some kind of agreement can come about, because if no agreement comes about, and what Beijing wants is for Trump to immediately drop the basically 245% tariff that they have on them, because they have 145 and then they have the one that's with the duties that's going to be $200 extra come June. There's real concern that we're going to be struggling, said Helen. They say she declined to give her last name for fear she might lose work if she is considered a disgruntled worker. She says if ships are not coming in and there are no loads, then there is no work. If there is no work, then there is no money. Absolutely. So the aggressive tariffs rattle business owners and shake the foundation of American importing. The men and women who work on the ground at the country's busiest ports are feeling the effects as well. Thousands of dock workers, heavy equipment operators, and truck drivers support a flurry of activity at the Port of Los Angeles, which covers 7,500 acres on San Pedro Bay and processed more than 10 million 20-foot-long cargo units in 2024. The neighboring port of Long Beach moves around 9.6 million 20-foot equivalent units TEUs last year. You know what? When you start looking for stuff, then you see stuff like this pop up on your screen, because I've been looking for like a travel trailer. And now every time I pull up a story, there's the ad. Okay, so with a 145% tariff on China, a 25% tariff on Canada and Mexico, and 10% tariff on dozens of other countries, the flow of goods into the U.S. is expected to slow down drastically. And with food, we get about maybe 1-2%, somewhere around there, of food from China. But those Mexico and Canada tariffs, that's where we're going to be hit with that food that we get into the ports. Fewer shipments into the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach mean less work for the Californians who move cargo. The truckers are scrambling right now, he said. They are at the verge of collapsing. The administration needs to move quickly, or it's going to be chaos and price hikes and empty shelves. Seeing that some Walmarts are actually having, empty shelves in their stores. Now, stores stockpile goods way before, because they knew the tariffs were coming, or possibility of. So they were stockpiling ahead of time, and their back store shelves are overstocked to the point where it's running out onto the floor into the middle aisles. But like I went in a store and I saw areas that I know where certain things go. Those things aren't there. They actually have items that are usually on the shelf in the refrigerated area. So things are slowly creeping in as far as shortages, but these stores are going to be very smart in manipulating the store to make it look like it is not, until or less they can't, meaning they've run out of back stock of the overstock stuff. And so they have nothing to put on the shelf. But the drop in cargo volume caused by Trump's tariff will mean empty shelves when products don't reach our stores, rising prices on everything from groceries to clothes to cars, and undoubtedly more Americans out of work. And it's not just food that's going to be short supply. You may be looking for a part for your car, and that part just may not be there and not coming in because nothing's coming out of China. What's coming up? Mother's Day, I think it's coming up, Memorial Day. So, you know, maybe think about getting whatever it is you need for your home, your vehicle, you know, those type of things. And then when you think about clothes, are you planning on buying any summer clothes? Are you planning on buying any fall clothes or anything like that? Probably not going to find any fall clothes right now because it's hot. So, but think about those things because the price of clothing is going to go up. It really, really is. So let's go over to, hold on, let's go to TikTok. So you can see this is empty shelves of certain products, cleaning supplies, etc. This is like, it might be like a Dollar General or something like that. I don't know. They're saying that empty shelves are to hit the US by mid-June, July. That's what some experts are warning. And other experts are saying it's going to be around the middle end of May. Oh, where's the volume?
Are we in for at least some troubling times ahead? I believe we are. And the reason why is that trade takes time to supply chain reporter for CNBC Business News. That Lori is also the author of the book Trade War, Containers Don't Lie, Navigating the Bluster. Lori, big welcome to you. So when it comes to the prospect of empty store shelves, which products could be hit hardest, and should consumers be worried? I mean, are you seeing a rush to buy certain things right now? We really shouldn't see a rush because we actually have the items in. It's going to hit us in waves, Alex. And this is what we're going to kind of see with the timeline. Starting in June, this is where you're going to start.
So you have time, you guys, you have time, because I know money is not available for everybody immediately. So you have time to get a few items here or there.
Seeing, you know, those items that we love to get really cheap online. Those are the items that are going to get hit first. And those are like the fast fashion, products we might get on Amazon. And the reason why is that smaller businesses, they can't afford to have front loaded, right, all of these items in to beef up their inventory. Then starting in July, this is critical because this is the back to school time, right, where parents are going into the stores to get their kids their school clothes. So you're looking at backpacks, you're looking at notebooks, you're going to be looking at all of these items that that some have been brought in, but there has been a major pause when you're looking at the amount of items that have been brought in, and people are just really uncertain, if you will. Is it going to consumer going to buy? We have seen the pullback on a multitude of different economic indicators in terms of that hesitancy, and without really any definitive acknowledgement of what's going on, we're going to see this pullback. And then in addition to the fast fashion and the school clothes, also electronics, because of the connectivity, right, of the inventory of the supply chain.
I'm going to get to that in 1 second, but let me ask, because you're saying basically we have until June, that the supply is there as of now. Does that apply to the car industry? Because we reported people are rushing out to buy cars or renew leases or whatever they need to do.
Yeah, it really depends on the item. I mean, when it comes to the autos, Alex, it's those tariffs that have already been slapped. And so people are trying to get in there, right? Let's get that car that's out in the lot now before another one has to come in that will be more expensive. So that's why you're seeing that rush for the bigger ticket items.
And that's going to make the used cars go up in price too, because if the sticker shock of a new car is way more than, you know, people are willing to pay, then they're going to start looking at the used car lots, and the used car lots are going to be like, oh, hey, we're in high demand now, so let's raise our prices, kind of how they did during COVID.
Okay, so it's about the bottom dollar there. So we learned yesterday that China exempted some U.S.-made microchips from tariffs. Does this indicate that China is backing down on some level?
I really don't think so, Alex. What's happening? We're going to just continue to be in this like push and pause, if you will, of do we make more things? Do we hold off? What do we do? So.
Okay, come on, internet.
Right now, I know we weren't around for it, but like during the when they had that the oil embargo from Iran in the late 70s,
people had to wait hours
in line, and then you had to go by the last few numbers of your license plate. Are they going to start doing that for just regular household goods that we have to get?
I mean, some of the stuff, food items, because that's what the shelf.
I certainly hope not. I can't even imagine.
Empty shelves. Look at that. There you go. Right here at Walmart. I ain't trying to scare nobody, but I'm just saying. You do what y'all gotta do.
So it's going to be hit or miss depending on where you are in the United States, like I said earlier in the video. So not everybody's going to start seeing these shortages where they are. Be thankful if you are one of those people, okay? But you need to be stocking up. That's all I can say. You need to be stocking up. You need to be getting your medications. You need to be getting, you know, your non-food items for your home and your food products for your home as well. And when you're getting these things, make sure you're storing them well. And don't forget to get water. Make sure you're storing them well, okay? In cool, dry place in your home. Not a lot of light, like if it's shelf-stable foods. Make sure you're storing them the way you need to store them. Before y'all leave, hit that like button, share the video out, and I will see y'all later in a store walkthrough somewhere here in North Carolina so we can see what the next store looks like. Are the shelves full or are they empty? And we just gonna, you know, let's support each other. Let's give each other the motivation that we need, because a lot of people are stressed out right now, and it's going to be okay. It is going to be okay. This is not about fear. This is about preparedness, emergency preparedness, not just for the fact that the tariff's going to make the shelves empty and things are not going to be available, but it is storm season. So think about getting those things now. That way, when storm season hit, if you add storm season and you add in empty shelves because of tariffs, it's really going to be bad, you guys. So get ahead of the game and let's just not just survive, but let's thrive, okay? Not just survive. This is about thriving during hard times, and hard times are here. And hard times seem to be getting worse every single day. Y'all take care, stay safe. Remember that I love you, but God truly loves you more. He created only one you. Be the very best you that you could be. And when you are, go out and spread God's love. Peace, love, and light. Thanks for being here on TOMMYBITES Homestead. And I will see you in a video later today. Help this video get out there, y'all, by hitting that like button.